Well. What's up, everybody? What's up, pretty and pink
Hey,
over there
y'all.
on my right? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey, people. Hey, people. I already know. Look, I'm going to give it a little bit because I'm always waiting
It's
on who's going to
Wednesday.
be here.
Right.
It's
It is
Wednesday, and
Wednesday.
I know y'all know
Y'all already know.
we on tonight. And we told y'all all day today. So no excuses, people. No excuses. I know YouTube takes a minute to notify everybody, but here we are, people. Okay, that's more like it. More like it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Well, hey,
That's J
J Rock,
Rock.
how you doing? How you doing? First one in the dough. How you doing? Go ahead. Hi, turn J35. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And go ahead while you're
Hey,
waiting on
hey.
everybody else. Hit that subscribe button as well as share this link because this was about to be a good episode.
It
It's about
sure.
to get real. And me and Nikki is trying to get to 400. Man, this has been the longest 400 goal we've had. It's been over
My goodness.
months. Hey, Facebook user, you're going to tell us who you are, okay? Because we don't know. So put your name. Anybody that's not showing a profile, definitely put your name in the chat. But let's
That's
get
probably
to
because
it.
they're in the
Let's
group.
get to it. They're in that group.
Yeah.
All right, well, people, let's get to it. So tonight, hey, look at everybody coming on. Nasia Ponder.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey, Billy
Billy.
Porter.
Hey, how y'all doing? All right. And of course, the phone lines are open tonight. But let's go ahead and, put on our, who we are. Lush Exchange for the people that's watching on Mad Mike Sports. You still probably don't have a clue. Like, who are these ladies? Why
Right.
does it come on? It is not sports related. Oh my God. But hey,
Oh,
we're
wait.
here. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get to introduce who we are. I am Miss Maggie T.
And I'm Nikki V.
Hey, Nikki. I love that curly hair today. That is
Hey,
the thing.
girl. Yeah, this is when I'm lazy.
It
I don't
is
feel like
moving.
messing
It
with
is moving. Well, if
it.
that's lazy, I don't know what unlazy looks like then, because you always look together
Okay,
regardless.
I'm lazy is
And
when I
J
straighten
Rock
it.
said,
That's when I'm lazy. Y'all looking
okay,
good
okay,
tonight.
so it's the opposite.
Right.
uh, oh, what are your thoughts on, oh my God, that album?
Have you listened?
Love it. Mm-hmm. I love
Yeah.
it. I played it quite a few times.
She kept it real on this one.
Exactly. Some people kind of got mixed info, kind of taking the album from a some people are just not in tune to people relaying messages and the purpose of this album. So people are taking quotes
Mhm.
from her and putting it out there like this is a reflection of who Jasmine Sullivan is. And like, I'm like, come on, people. The point of this is pretty much, y'all check that out. Do the backstory, look up to see the reason behind this album, and just tune in because I love me some Jasmine Sullivan and she never disappoints. So thank you
Right.
for
And
that,
she
people.
just kept it
Hello,
real. Y'all
Michael.
can't be mad at real. You just can't be mad at that. Everybody
Exactly.
can relate to
And
that because go ahead.
that song she did with Anderson Paak is fire. Look, the whole album is awesome.
Mhm.
No, I would say Michael Kelly. He was saying hello, or Michelle Kelly. I could be. Oh, I see
Okay.
a guy. Never
It's
mind. Sorry
Michael.
about that. Sometimes people be
Not
spelling their names
Michelle.
all different. My bad, Michael. My bad.
Uh,
But let's go ahead. You ready? Let's go ahead and get into
let's
what we're
do it.
talking
Antonio
about
Brown
today.
said no sound.
No sound?
That's what Antonio Brown just said.
Can y'all, everybody else in the chat, can you hear us?
Yeah, can y'all hear us? Both of us?
Now, now you have to click on the video sometimes for it, or actually they can hear us. So I think it's just you. If you're on Facebook, sometimes if you click on the video itself, there's a volume little mute button thing that pops up. I think. I don't know how
Yeah,
that
you might
works.
have that on.
Yeah, so loud and clear. I feel a sec. I'm like, I'm not talking to myself. and, And we normally don't have audio issues, but please let us know if you can hear loud and clear. Perfect.
Right.
Big yellow, sir. We didn't see you last
Hey,
show.
Big Yellow.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had a Saturday
Ashley,
show,
hey,
so you
girl.
probably didn't know. Ashley, sound is fine. Thank you, Brian. Okay, but let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to put the phone lines up because this one, I already know this is going to be an episode. If anybody don't see the advertisement on this one, I should have put the picture up there, but I didn't think about that. Would have been nice because, kind of give an idea of what we're talking about. But let's go ahead and get into it, people. If you don't know, now you know. So the topic of tonight is when you have an absent parent, you spend your life searching for that one, trying to fill that void from your love interest. Why did I put a question mark there? But anyway, that's how we doing it. I swear,
hey,
look at
Mike.
whatever. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Hey, beautiful Ashley. Appreciate it. Danny Crane. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's get into it. So, people, I know y'all could probably relate to this. Go ahead and put your hand in the chat if you can definitely relate to absent parents.
I can.
Yeah. Yes. We don't got this time for this, Antonio. This is not the show for it, but I do got on my hot shirt. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. All right. So that's the open topic, but we definitely want to kind of Lush exchange. That's what we do. We educate. We not only are we talking about something, we're going to learn something from today. So let's go ahead and get into what is child abandonment syndrome. There is a thing there, people. Let me go ahead and get my definition up. Nikki, did you have anything you want to add to that, or
it's all you, boo?
Do what I do. It's all me. All right. Abandonment child syndrome is a proposed behavior or psychological condition that results primarily from the loss of one or both parents or sexual abuse. Abandonment may be physical. The parent is not present in the child's life, or emotional. The parent withholds affection, nurturing, or stimulation. So basically, it's not necessarily that the parent is actually not physically in their life, but it could be. And then we're going to get into that because we definitely got a key point for it. But when that parent is there, but not there. Yes, Lord. Yes, there we go. We doing it today. We doing it today, people. We're doing it
there.
Today.
We're gonna try to act like we have some sense tonight.
Yes,
somehow it always goes left, but we're gonna act like we have some sense tonight.
Today we are. Today, maybe tomorrow. You don't know what we're gonna have. The shenanigans always rendering his head. I'm telling you. Hey, ladies, Jessica Styles, I see you in there. But let's But what do you think about that, Nikki? Abandonment syndrome. I mean, of course, we're not going to go deep into it because it's just a definition, but your thoughts on it.
Yeah, my thought, this I definitely have, and this I have definitely carried over into my relationship. With my father not being in my life like he should be, I definitely try to overcompensate because I don't want to be left. I don't want to be left again. So, and when it comes to relationships, if I'm serious, I'll add that disclaimer, because if I'm not serious, I don't care. But if I'm serious and my feelings are involved, I'm gonna overcompensate because I don't want you leaving. So I want you to stay. So I'm gonna do everything I can, to make sure. And I realize it's not healthy. It's the wrong, reason to do it or whatever. But I'm a work in progress. What can I say?
Hey, aren't we all? But that's why I appreciate Lush Exchange, because if you're tuning in for the first time and you don't know what Lush Exchange is all about, yes, we cut a fool sometimes. Well, pretty much half the time, but we keep it definitely 100 with everybody, and it's real life experiences. So we're not just throwing things at you from what do we read off an internet article or something like that. It's true things that we've experienced. And hey, Mom First always. If anybody caught our show Saturday night,
Ada.
She made a definitely appearance. So y'all go ahead and go check out her channel. She offers inspirational, motivational videos along with fitness. She's doing a challenge right about now, where I think I forgot how many days she in. You can put that in the chat, but she still got a long way to go. She got to get to 50 something on this challenge, but she's in the 20s as far as posting her videos and her journey and things like that. But she definitely has a purpose behind it if you missed it on Saturday. But appreciate you, girl, for tuning in tonight. But so Lush Exchange is just who we are. We're going to keep it real with you, and I agree with you. I definitely dealt with the abandonment issues. And hey, baby, we don't know who the baby is. You got to tell us who you are. And if you're in that group, you got to let us know who you are. And hey, baby, though, I'm curious now. Hey, baby.
Well, so I'm gonna go look now because I want to know.
But I definitely also have my abandonment issues. A little bit of my backstory. I, all my life, I've known one man, and that is my stepfather. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't know this was my stepfather. That was, of course, I don't call him stepfather, purposely, because that's my father. That's my dad, That's the person that's raised me from a toddler, pretty much. Even an infant, I believe. She said I was crawling when he met us, but that's all I've known all my life. So of course, I don't feel to say, oh, that's my stepfather. He's not. That's dad, But just to give you guys an idea of what's happening, of course, I found out very late on in life that I had a biological father at the age of 19, people. I was pregnant, and a relative decided to call me that was actually blood relative of mine. And she decided, hey, you know what? I don't think your mother's going to tell you this. So, and I think that you need to know your family history because you are with child. And I know, Nikki.
Wow.
So that's why I said this story is going to hit me today, people, so, and you need to know your family history. Only right? Because from what I know, the father I've always known is the father I know. So I'm basing it off his genes, grandparents, all of that. I'm basing it off of that family history. But she said, no, I think you need to know. And I'm not going to put you out there, but I appreciate you telling me that because I wouldn't have known, to be honest. I mean, to this day, I don't think my mother was going to tell me. I don't think so. So, basically, but it made sense. Like, I'll get deep into it a little bit more, but it just made sense of how the difference in treatment was. It was like, okay. But like I said, I'll break that down a little bit later. And, so yeah, I can definitely understand what that child abandonment syndrome is. And it definitely affected how I moved through my life, just kind of getting that type of news. It's like you when you get news like that to that age, you're questioning yourself, like, who am I then?
Right.
The whole time, I've been living this life like I know who I am. So it came to the matter of trying to find myself at this point. Like, I don't know who I really am. Do I know you even, Mama? Do I even know these people over here? Who are you guys? I was upset at my mom for quite some time too about that, and I've grown from it, of course, but yeah, that hurt me to the core at that point because it's like, you're lying to me, Mom. How could you do that to me? So, and Facebook user, that is her natural hair. Yes. So, and what was my initial reaction to the news? Oh, I cried. I absolutely cried. I got into a shell of myself because, for one thing, I'm emotionally pregnant, so I'm hormonal. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, you're lying, right? You absolutely. And to top that off, people, I found out I had another two siblings that I didn't know nothing. Well, no, like I said, I'm gonna get into it, but the story gets a little deep, people. And just know that you can't be lying to people. You know, my hair, yes.
Yeah, she's talking about you, not me.
Yes,
That's her
this is
natural
definitely
hair.
my hair. That's my natural
That's
hair.
my boo
Thank you.
Tiana. That's who that is.
Yes, ma'am. But let's go ahead and get into the next portion of it though, because I'm ready to go ahead and tell my story. So
Okay.
I'm ready to get into this conversation today because it's gonna get good, people. So let's get into what is childhood abandonment syndrome. So basically, we talked about not having our biological fathers in our lives and things like that. Of course, I had a stepfather, but I'll get into that a little bit more about that relationship. But I experienced this right here when both parents are present, but one or both lack to show love the way you needed them to. So I know you can kind of relate to that, Nikki.
Well, both of
That
mine
you
weren't
breaking up.
present. My am I still breaking up? Can you hear me good? Yes, no? Okay. Yeah, both of mine weren't present. I spent pretty much my entire life with my father absent. Now, when we were younger, he would come over on the weekends because apparently he was still smashing my mom, but he just wasn't living, in the house with us. But once we got, a little bit older, probably around 10, he stopped coming around. So I don't know, they must have fell out for whatever reason. But I pretty much only saw him on holidays up until maybe 14, 15 when we moved to Tulsa. And then I never saw him after that. So, no, for the majority of my life, when it really counted, my father was absent. My mom had boyfriends here and there, but he was pretty much gone. So I didn't have both parents there. So I don't know which one is worse, not having one there at all or having both, but one of them or both is not giving you what you need as a parent. Like I don't know which one's both. I mean, I don't know which one is worse. What I meant to say.
I've experienced all of it, to be honest. Like having both parents, the stepfather, mother, and the fact that she portrayed me and just the way she acted towards certain situations just showed that who she put first. That's kind of how I felt about it, and I still have a little bit is I don't know, Nikki, something your screen is Nikki's kind of cut. But that's how I felt. Like so to this point where she can you hear me? Uh-oh. In and out.
You fine.
Okay. Okay. I guess your signal is in and out today, Nikki. You normally don't have
I went ahead
issue.
and turned my Wi-Fi on. Usually I need to turn it off. This time I turned it on. So maybe that's what's acting janky.
Okay. We apologize, people, with the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I'm lagging up too.
Oh, see, maybe it's not just me.
Maybe so. So
I turned my Wi-Fi on though.
Okay. Just a bit. Thank you. Let me go ahead and Nikki, you tell a little bit of your story. I'll be right back.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Just the basically having a parent in your life that you
that's
but
not giving
still
you what
feel.
you need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so y'all, Lord. Y'all are not gonna have me crying out here. You hear me? I didn't get any tissues. I didn't bring none with me. So yeah. But yeah, even when mine was around, he was only there to see my mom. Like he wasn't really present in me and my sister's lives. So that's probably why I go so hard when it comes to love now. And that's probably another reason why it takes me a lot to get to that point, to where my heart is involved. Because I already know once my heart is involved, I'm going to go super fucking hard. And, you know, it is what it is. But somebody asked, what's in that cup? TT, this is, y'all know I'm a Ciroc girl. So I'm drinking Ciroc and cranberry pineapple juice. What I'm drinking. But anyways, just J Rock. I got some out there. Well, call us. You see that number right there. There's no pin. All you got to do is call that number and then you'll connect with us. So if you want to say something that you don't want to type all the way out, give us a call. And ladies, y'all can call us too. Don't be shy. We really don't bite. We just keep it real on here. But Mom, first always, I'd rather have an absent parent than one who is psychologically and emotionally invisible. I think the same thing, Ada. I feel the same way. Like, I think it's worse to have both there, but one or both is not giving you what you need. So, I think that's worse.
I agree with that. I'd rather you not know me, to be honest. Like, it's like out of sight, out of mind at this point. But
at least if they're physically gone,
reachable, and I just know that you're even in the same city, and and you just still choose to not even be, we don't have a connection, we don't have a bond like that. I'm going through things, I can't reach out to you and talk about it. You just unattached and all of that. Is this a little better, people?
Is this a little better? Had any lags since you got back?
Okay, I think I had forgot to plug something in, so I did that. So you know how it is with these internet connections and stuff like that. So we're sorry. Right? We apologize for the delay. But you were still talking. I didn't, because I kind of missed a little bit of it. Where you?
No, I kind of came to a point. I was just agreeing with what Ada said. Like, it's worse to have both there, and one or both is not giving you what you need. I know Mike touched on that with his mother, but I think that's way worse. Like, at least with my dad, he's gone. Like you said, out of sight, out of mind, whatever. I'm just at the point where I'm giving up.
But that was my situation a little bit. Like I said, I've kind of experienced all kinds of feelings, throughout my life. Before I knew that I had a different father, it was more of a, my stepfather was a heavy drinker early on. And of course, heavy drinkers, they behave certain ways. He's already an angry man already. So naturally, he's just even more angrier when he's drinking. And
we have a caller. Do you want to hold that thought?
We can hold that thought. We have a caller.
Okay. Hey, caller.
You already knew what I was going to say about that.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Hey, I'm wonderful. Like you said, I had both parents. Kind of piggyback off what Ada was saying. It's bad when not only the mother's supposed to be nurtured and all this type of stuff. My dad was an alcoholic. He was in drugs and things of that nature. So me personally, like I'm the second oldest, and I essentially had to raise my little brothers and sisters, and it was just, it contributed to, my anger as a child, because I couldn't really be a child. My mother was, she was standoffish. She was rough around the edges. She didn't tell me I love you. That was like nothing. I got absolutely nothing as far as like being a nurturing, a mother. She did the best she could, but when you haven't gotten that your entire life, it's hard to kind of be that for your child. So my dad, same way, he was standoffish, been through a lot of stuff mentally, and it kind of, added to a lot of issues that I had. So I think I came to a period where I just stopped. I think I've come to a period where you just have to forgive, both parents for their transgressions and just let it be. I think a lot of people just want to hold on to that pain, but it's just, it's better off. You find out it's better off to just let it be and let those parents, let yourself be free and, just let them off the hook, because we all searching for some type of, belonging, and a lot of times no one can give that to you but yourself. So me personally, like I said, I've never really been close to my mom at all. It's like really no type of love whatsoever. It's just, okay, I'm the son, she's the mother, and that's it. No type of relationship. So sometimes you just gotta let it go and, forgive both parents, or, one parent for what it is. And you be your source of your own, your own healing. So that's what I got to say. And like I said, man, y'all just keep killing with these topics, man. I love have these serious topics where people, can really let go of a lot of hurt and pain that they have built up. So y'all keep doing y'all thing. I love y'all, and that's all I got to say about that.
We love you back. Thank you for calling.
We knew you was gonna call in. I was like, I already know it. I was gonna bank on that. But and that makes a difference when it's your own mother. Males are taught to be strong and tough and all that, but they still need that nurturing from their mom. They still need that love and compassion, because not every day is going to be a good day even for a male. So
right,
I get that. I definitely get that. But my story is, appreciate you, son. Look at him. He's just taking care of me. I got maids and stuff in the house. But anyway, I'm just playing. But basically, what I forgot where I left off at. He was a heavy drinker.
Okay.
He was a heavy drinker then. Like he was drinking like big things of vodka and orange juice all day long type of deal.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember, the cocktail and everything. And he was already just an angry, mean person. Naturally, that's just who he is. He had a tough life. I get it. He's a mixed child, so he had the nice hair and very light tone, and he grew up in a very if anybody ever heard of Louisville, Georgia, it's kind of right outside of Augusta, but it's like a small little town. But it used to be the capital of Georgia at one point. And they had like the bell and everything. It's like a lot of history surrounding that town, but that was back in the slave trade days. So it's like a whole big bell, and it's like a slave post. It's like a whole big historic thing. They got pictures and everything that you can go take, and it's like a monument thing now. A lot of people don't know about this town, but so of course he's living in that town, so it's a bit more racism and things like that, and black people that, you're trying to be white, and of course he had an actual biological white father, so he had a complex with himself as far as identifying himself, and he had to defend himself, so he had to be tough. I get why he's upset and angry, but he started drinking to mask it. And with that being said, it affected how he treated us. And to me and my twin sister, just felt like it was a little bit more favoritism to in our opinion. But at that time, we didn't know why. And of course, I was a typical teenager, 13 years old. I was feeling myself a little bit. So I was doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, you know what I'm saying? But it just seemed like it was more of a, it just seemed like a little bit more abuse, if you will. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but my sister and my other sister and brother just wasn't getting that treatment. It was just, as much. They'll go out and get McDonald's, or they'll go out and get stuff. And it's just like, why is there the difference? Like I said, I found out later on that I had a different brother and sister. I'll get into that later, but I had a family that at that time, I didn't know was my blood family. So this is how crazy my story gets, people. I have a brother that I now know is my brother, but at the time, it was a family friend. We went to high school together, so she's my sister. So yes, you could play as children together. So I played with my brother But of course, when it came to them going on family bonding trips and things like that, of course, we wasn't invited. So long story short, we didn't have a true bond like that. We were just like, that's the family friend. Okay, whatever. Turns out, when I found out at 19, this is my biological blood brother, people.
Wow.
And to top that off, he had to live with that. My brother knew. But he was told not to tell us out of, we're trying to respect your mother's wishes. She just doesn't want you to know, to protect my stepfather, because he had his complex about it. He didn't want us to know. He didn't want us to know at all, period. How you doing, Facebook user? Appreciate you. If you're in the group, let us know who you are. But yeah, so when I finally found out at 19, pregnant, emotional, hormonal, I found out, oh yeah, by the way, you know, your brother that your friend that you knew, that you played with all your life, oh, that's your blood brother. It makes sense because he's very fair tone. And, you know, like if you ever see my twin sister, she's really, 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 really light. He's really, 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 really light, like him, like her, etc. It just makes sense. And to top it off, oh, you have an additional sister at that, but we can't find her because the mother, because of course my biological father, no, he wasn't. They wasn't raised by my biological father. So I'm glad you asked that question. No, they wasn't. I don't know what it is, but my mother just picked them, you know. I love her to death, but she picked them. And this man, my biological father, was also he was Army veteran, PTSD, bipolar. I don't know what was going on with this man, but of course, drug addict, drunk, in and out of prison. Papa was a Rolling Stone, basically. Let's just say that. And no, he didn't have a relationship with any of his children that he created. So his my older sister, I can't say her name. I'm sorry, I don't want to say her name, but my older sister mother decided, I don't want nothing to do with any of that family. So she kind of pulled her away, So but a cousin of mine was like, you know what, I'm determined to find this sister of yours. And we found her finally through some things and that we did and everything else. But I'm telling you, if you ever see my twin sister, it's funny, we're twins, but we're fraternal. So, but they look more alike than I look like my own sister, my own twin sister. The funny thing is just, it's uncanny. Wow. But when we finally saw pictures we finally found her, and she was just like, of course, she was taken aback too, because it's like, she does also have other siblings from her mother. Her mother also had children. So she was taken aback, like, wait a minute, what is going on? Because, of course, she knew somebody of her, in her life, she has a stepfather herself. So she was well off, she had some people in her life. But it was like, we was all learning this at this, around the same time. And it was just like, whoa, what in the is going on here? Wow. But I understand why my sister's mother was like that, because my dad wasn't no good. And he still isn't no good. So out of sight, out of mind. Like, it supposed to have been where we were supposed to have been meeting up. He finally was like, oh, I'm so happy that and oh, I just want to have a relationship with you guys. Instead, he wanted to bash my mom. Then it was supposed to be, he was claiming him, he sent us a little bit of money trying to, I guess butter us up a little bit. And then it supposed to be, okay, well, okay. Okay, let me go ahead and I guess maybe he's trying to have a relationship. This is when I'm older now. So, I'm a little bit mature. I can understand it at this point. So I was like, okay. Now, of course, I wasn't trying to let the kids meet him or anything like that, but let me, at least meet the damn person that made me.
Right.
He ran. The day that my older sister, that I'm finding out about, my twin sister, the day we supposed to be meeting this man, guess what? He wasn't even there. So at that point, that was my closing point. I was like, you know what? My kids don't even know, I keeps it real with my children. They know, because I'm not going to do that like my mother did. I'm sorry. I keep it honest with my children when they're old enough to understand what's going on. But I'm going to let you know, this is your family history over here. You know what I'm saying? This is who you are. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to blind my children. So they understand what's going on, but they do definitely know that stepdad is granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? That's your granddaddy. Please believe, because guess what? This man is in our life now. He got his life together. He stopped drinking. Hallelujah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't knock him. Everybody got an addiction. Everybody got some issue with themselves. So he overcame that. He doesn't even pick up. If he drinks anything, it's like a wine cooler now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he purposely stopped drinking heavy like that, you know, because it just fucked his life up a little bit. So like, I don't knock anybody, but as long as you stop what you're going to do, as far as any addiction, any issue that you have, please know when it's time to give that up, especially when you're hurting your family that you love, truly. So that's my story, people. I ain't going to get too. But I had to kind of vent and let that out just a little bit, people. But that's how it's who I am, pretty much. It's who I am. So I have my complexes about dating and abandonment issues. Like you said, Nikki, you don't want people to leave you. And of course, my first real relationship, I stayed a little too long because of course we got kids. He was cheating on me, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to be, alone. I don't want to be I don't want to be a parent to children and don't have a father in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So he got insomnia, amnesia about all of that. All that kind of, what you're talking about. I wasn't cheating on you. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just lying, right? But he's gotten better though. He's a great father now, but that was because we was high school sweethearts. We jumped right into it. Then fresh out of high school, boom, kid. So you know how that goes. You wasn't ready. We trying to live a life and live together, and we wasn't ready. So I just call it teach. It was a teaching lesson for me. I learned something from it. But go ahead, Nikki. I done ran my mouth, and I had to vent. Let me sip my drink, honey.
I mean, admittedly, for me, Mike touched on something very important, I believe, when he called in and he was like, you have to forgive and let that hurt go. Admittedly, I have not made it there yet. When it comes to my father, I have no understanding. I just don't.
I'm sorry.
And if I don't understand, if I don't comprehend something, I can't just go along with it. I have to understand first. And I feel like the only way I'll have any sort of comprehension on why you've made the decisions that you've made when it comes to being in your kid's life. I'm your first child ever. I have no comprehension of why you're choosing. As far as I'm concerned, you have made a choice not to be in my life, not to be in my sister's life. Now she's a little bit more hardcore with it than I am. I want to understand. I would like to move past it. I would like to have a relationship. She, however, is like, no, fuck you. I don't ever want to see you. I don't forgive you. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't want you to meet my kids, blah, blah, blah. Me, my mind is like, I want to fucking know. I want to know what happened or what the reason is for you to not want to be in your kid's life. I get you with a new woman now. I don't even know if you're still with that woman. I don't even know if I have brothers or sisters, from that he made after the fact. I don't know anything. But ever since 2014, I've just been done, and I'm not there yet, and I would like to be, but I need to have a conversation because I have questions and I want those questions answered. But right now, I'm too stubborn to be the one yet again to reach out because I feel like I shouldn't fucking have to.
And you shouldn't have to. That's how I feel about it.
It's not my job.
Fuck you.
We have a caller.
It's not my job. And look, I'm about to get my tissue, girl, because this finna be that episode today. I'm about to caller going. Let me go get me some tissue.
But I need to have a conversation. You're gonna have to turn your sound down. But right now,
I hope it's not echoey like it normally do.
Yet again, to reach out because I feel like I shouldn't fucking have to. And you shouldn't have to. That's how I feel about. Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Yeah. Start it over.
I was a little angry. On there.
Start it over because I think it's that phone line again.
Start the call.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, they hung up.
Okay, start it over. You know how it gets like that. I think that's just whatever the way the glitch.
But yeah, what I was saying is, I don't understand. I just don't. Like, even when we were trying to mend, we were communicating, we would call each other. You know, he would tell me about shit that went on in the past that I had no idea about. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? We would talk. And then, you know, I'm at the happiest point in my entire life. I got engaged for the first time ever. I'm getting married for the first time ever. I'm your first child. Obviously, I want you to walk me down the aisle since we have a relationship now. And for you to tell me 6 months in advance that you can't make it, that made me quit. I literally threw up my hands. I threw up everything. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this shit anymore. I cannot continue to disappoint myself by trying to have some sort of confidence in you to be the man that I need you to be in my life. Mm-hmm. So you telling me 6 months in advance you can't walk me down the aisle. You don't give me a reason why. You just tell me you can't. I had no understanding, and that was just the last straw for me. So even with all of that, it's fucking 2021 now, and I still want to have an understanding. I still want to know why.
You need some closure.
I want to know why you chose not to be in my life. Like, who fucking does that? And I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not there at the forgiving stage. I'm not there.
Somebody that just doesn't want that responsibility. They're so used to, like, you know what? I ain't got to worry about it. Because sometimes they blame that person, or people look into, like you said, something happened between your parents to where, okay, I don't want to fuck with her no more, then fuck the kids and all that kind of stuff. We can't do that, people. People be getting so upset and angry with each other. The kids are affected by it. You can't, I don't care what's going on in your relationship together. If y'all can't be together, so be it. And you guess what? It was kind of like that with my first relationship. You know what I'm saying? I was bitter. I was upset. And I kind of wanted to get back into Derek's comment because we didn't read it. Then we'll get back to Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mike. At least most of y'all have stories where the life dynamic isn't all the way wrecked. And some of y'all are. No, I wanted to go back to what he said earlier about, here we go. That's what I wanted to get to. For myself, grew up with a unique set of challenges, and I came to a conclusion that the absent parent was embarrassed by how my life was early on, developed or lack thereof. So you felt like that parent abandoned you because of your, challenges that you were having. And that's deep. That's deep. And you can go ahead and highlight back the comment you wanted to highlight, but I just wanted to put that out there.
I'm going to go back to his second comment. At least most of y'all have stories where the life dynamic isn't all the way wrecked, and some of y'all are willing to mend family and make amends.
Well, we try.
Like I've given up on that. I would like that, but I'm not going to be the one to initiate it. I'm stubborn as fuck when it comes to shit like that. I've been the one to try. And then after being let down that last time in 2014, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, never again will I allow you to have the chance to make me feel like this. I will not allow it. Not again.
That's how my biological father felt. Because I'm telling you, he was sending me and my twin sister letters. And it was just like, oh, I'm just so glad we connected. I'm happy about this. He was sending money. He was like, I'm so ready to meet you guys. And you look just like your mother. And just making us feel like, you know what? I think I can do this. I'm like, then of course my mom like, well, have them, I think we was living somewhere else. So we had our mail sent somewhere else because I think it was going to my parents' house at some point. Then we directed to the letters to my house because my mom was like trying to hide the letters. Let me read them. I'm like, this is my conversation with my father that you didn't tell me about. So I'm gonna say, I really had a very resentment towards her for a while, but she wanted to be involved and what's going on, what he's saying, and I'm like, that's none of your business right now. But you didn't give me that opportunity to, know my family. So he's reaching out. That's how I was feeling at that time. But he pretty much was a dumb fool at the end of it. He was manipulative and made us feel like, oh, okay, maybe I get to know who my biological father is now. I know. And he fucking ran. So
that's why I'm so huge on your words and your actions.
There you go.
I need both. I don't want to have to choose between words. Okay, you telling me something, I can trust you and I can believe you, and leave it at that. No, I need to see your actions matching your words. I shouldn't have to choose which one to believe. Like you say one thing, but you do another. No, I need both of those to match, not one or the other. So whenever we did have a relationship, it was, oh, I love you so much. I think about you every single day. I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 blah. And then you do this. And it's been 7 years since I've spoken to you. Those words and those actions aren't matching. So I don't have any more energy. But it still fucks with me. Admittedly, it still bothers me because I want to know. I have questions that I want answered, but I won't get them. It looks like because I'm not going to be the one to reach out. I'm not doing that shit again.
I think. Go ahead.
I was going to read Mike's comment. Hey, I don't have an understanding of why I'm always the target of her anger. I just am. It's a fight I'll never be able to win. I'm cool with that. See, I wish that's at least you have some sense of peace that you've come to accept that, and that you're just like, that's what it's going to be. That's just what it is. I haven't reached that yet. I don't understand.
Well, I could say in Mike's situation though, she's holding some inner struggles herself. She's struggling within herself, and she's still probably haven't pretty much I don't know if anybody was kind of seen Lush Exchange is going to start doing motivational videos and things like that, and I put out a video about how to make you have to make yourself happy. You can't expect anyone else to make you happy.
Absolutely.
And when people are like that, they haven't forgiven. And what I said in the video was, you have to also forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for how you act, how the things that you do in your life that create who you are. When it comes to anything, your behaviors, all your actions and everything like that. Yes, you did it, but have you learned from it? Have you moved on from it? Have you forgiven yourself, and have you let that go and say, you know what, I'm going to be a new person, and moved on from it? Some people can't accept that or admit that, you know what, I have a problem, and they can't. They'll mask it with drugs and alcohol. And it's like, fuck yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, and be so angry at themselves, angry at everybody. They want to point fingers at anybody else, but pointing it back at themselves. I said, look in the mirror, pretty much. That's kind of, if anybody, I'll put the link in the chat, but I think that's something that I want to do moving forward. And just kind of give everybody a little bit motivation and things like that, because we need it.
Yeah.
And I need it,
Okay.
So me doing that will remind me to read my affirmations and things like that, and bring it to you guys too. So kind of inspire you guys as well. Just want to, I want everybody to kind of learn, I want Lush Exchange to be that positive message that you get, each and every other day, watching our shows, from our posts, even if it's just on the Facebook page, just some type of motivational thing that you can get from this. Everybody just have their life challenges, and we just want to bring you guys realistic life experiences. And so this is the purpose of this show. So if you're new to this, please subscribe. Please share it out. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I wanted to get to is I guess now's the time to kind of bring up that quote a little bit. Then we'll get into our next topic, the picture. I hope he's watching.
I was yapping and running my mouth, so the call is back up. If anybody,
cool.
It was a lady. I'm upset. It was a lady this time. So if you're listening still, please call us back.
Please call in.
Maybe we can get that worked out. But yeah. So I saw this post, and it was funny that I saw it today with our topic being what it was, or being what it is. And he says, one of my Facebook friends, Danny Crane, posted, people who were raised on love view the world differently from people raised on survival. And I felt that to my core. And we're going to have to pause that because
we got a caller. That's why I brought it up, because I knew.
Still has the sound up loud. With our topic being what it was.
We're still having an issue.
Do they have to stop watching the video and then call us?
I don't know. I think it's just the phone line. How about this? Let's do the link.
Phone line.
Let's do the YouTube link. How about that? Now, I don't need everybody to hop on, but let's try this, because if that phone line is not going to work for us, I really want, because this is a great show.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Hello?
It's not going to work. Unfortunately. Okay, so caller, if that's you on the end, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to drop the stream link. So what you can basically do, once you join the stream, you don't have to show your face. You can hide your camera.
Yeah, you can hide it.
And you'll be able to still speak to us, okay? We're just going to have to do it like that. We'll try that. I apologize. If you're still in the chat, please call us. Get this link. I don't need everybody jumping on at once, though. So we're going to do it one at a time. Give everybody their chance to call in.
Co-host today.
Oh, we're going to have some co-hosts today. Let's do it. We're just going to have to try that, Nikki, because that thing is just never reliable. So this is the link to join us on the stream here. Like I said, we're going to do it one at a time. We're going to give everybody their chance to say what they got to say. You can just, it's going to show you how to set your computer, your mic and everything up before you jump on. But you can hide your camera if you don't want to show your face. But if you want to show your face, feel free to join us and be a co-host. We would love to see some faces. Let's try that, because I think that's just going to have, we do it for AFN, so we're just going to have to do it for here, cuz until we can get more of a reliable phone line, because that thing just don't be one to act right at half the time. So we apologize, lady. If that's you, we need more women calling.
I know. I was like, it's a lady. I can hear her. I want to hear what she has to say.
But let's put that back up, though, while we're waiting on somebody to get some boldness about themselves and hit that stream.
Well, I have a call. Let's see if they have their video uploaded.
We do it for AFC. So
no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I'm so mad.
Unfortunately.
I'm going to end it so people don't keep calling.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, it's this topic. Oh, y'all. Ooh, y'all. Let me tell you, I felt this to my core, because with my mother being a single mom, raising my sister and I, she worked her ass off. And admittedly, she made some things harder for herself, you know, when she decided to quit her government job, move us from San Antonio to Tulsa, where we knew nobody. You know, that shit was tough. But before that, her being a single mom and hustling the way she did is the major reason why I have the hustle in me that I have, because I refuse to put my girls through some of the shit that I lived through as a young kid, like homeless shelters, being homeless, being bounced from house to house, being hungry, you know, all that shit. Going through that as a kid myself made me, once I got of age, like I've been working since I was 15, have never stopped. And just that whole experience made me the hustler that I am today. And I done lost count on how many side hustles and jobs I have now, because I refuse to put them through the shit that I went through. So it is a difference. I feel like, I don't know, like maybe I would be softer and maybe more nurturing, maybe, if I was raised out of love instead of out of survival, because my sister and I were absolutely raised out of survival. It was just my mom doing it, you know. Even when she did remarry I was really young when she remarried, but he was shit, you know. He beat her. I had to watch that. So she was pretty much her by herself. So if she had, you know, boyfriends or whatever, that's just what it was. There was nothing serious. Nothing, nobody living with us, you know, helping her pay the bills, you know, whatever. Once I turned 15, I started working. I'm the one helping her pay bills, not another grown person, but me being in high school. I'm paying the bills at home now. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that to my core, because I sometimes wonder how different I would be if I grew up in a more loving, nurturing home, compared to us pretty much surviving, and that's it.
I mean, I could take from that quote, especially about that survival part, especially like you said, just kind of home to home, city to city, that type of thing. You have to learn how to survive. So you got to protect yourself. You're losing friends. So you don't, you know, you can't trust people. You don't know people. You got to get to know a whole different person. It's just, especially if you're living in poverty and things like that. So it just wasn't the right atmosphere for you. You just had to learn very quick how to protect yourself. And, you know, sometimes you live that rough life and you lead a rough life, you know, just you got to watch your surroundings because you don't know where you're laying your head at sometimes. So it just depends on how people are raised. I definitely agree with that statement. And I think that's going to, you know, it's kind of leading into our next topic. And people, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You can just click the link, hide your camera. We don't, you know, all we're going to be doing.
If you don't want us to see you.
You can hide it because, and then all we will hear you is on audio. So we're going to get this together, you know. Hey, sometimes trial and error. But
Right.
I definitely want to go into, it's kind of leading into what we want to talk about next. So it's kind of about that. Basically, how does it affect both sexes differently? So we're back to the leading topic again of about child abandonment and not having that having an absent parent not in your life and things like that. How does it affect the opposite sexes? You know, it sometimes it can, of course, men are who they are, so they're going to handle it a certain way, or you just never know. It's just different, you know. So this is going to be a little touchy topic right here. But of course, I did the science, you know, the definition version of it. So of course, I always do that for you guys, and then we'll break it down to how we feel about it. But so basically, with women, basically, as with like depression, they kind of have eating disorders, low self-esteem. The absence of a father can trap a daughter into a negative, repetitive pattern she can't easily break out of and turn to drugs to self-medicate and help numb the pain. She is more likely to be promiscuous, so she's a little bit more sexual. And it's just kind of a cycle of substance abuse, for example. So basically, they're saying that she's a bit more sexual, and you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure people can kind of relate to that. Like I said, this is just what I found. So it's saying this is not what we're saying is the definition of what happens to people. Everybody got their own experience. Everybody got their own life, but that's kind of what they sum up as far as females. They have like repetitive behavior, and they, like you said, the lack of, you know, the abandonment. So you're seeking somebody to kind of be that father or being that male presence, being that, you know, that love, you know, because we are emotional creatures. So we want somebody to love on us and provide that sense of wholeness and completion and someone being there for us. Because sometimes when you're in that type of, you know, when you don't have that father figure in your life, you're missing it. You know, you're missing that, you know, that just that fatherly bond that you know, you don't have, especially if mom is kind of not together herself and she's dating all these people and she's bringing them over and you just don't have that connection with them. That can affect you as far as your relationships with men altogether. So of course, I want y'all to put some in the chat. Let me know if you agree, how you feel about that. But as far as the men, I thought basically with the men, they're saying that can suffer longer lasting damage. They are more likely to end up in poverty or drop out of school, become, of course, addicted to drugs, have a child out of wedlock, or end up in prison. So that's kind of what they're summing up how the males are. They kind of end up in prison. They just kind of don't care about education. They just kind of live in the streets and like, you know, fuck my father, he wasn't there. Especially if mom is raising that child and he just never had that father present in his life as well. Because we can do everything we can do for a male women. And, you know, I know people get sensitive about that topic a lot, but when you don't have that, when they don't have that man that can tell him how to tie up a tie, you know what I'm saying? How to be a gentleman, how to groom himself, I can't tell you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I can only, you know, research and figure it out, you know, or hopefully I got a male presence in my life that can kind of introduce him to that type of stuff. But when it comes to being a man, there's only very little that we can show him. Sometimes you just still need that male in his life to kind of just, so I'm not saying that you can't raise a man. Yes, you can. You absolutely can raise a man, but still in the back of his head, do you think that not just having that, hey man, I can't get this haircut right, I can't get this beard trimmed up right, or a girl at my school was, just especially with hormones and things like that, he don't know what's going on with his body, puberty, just things like that. Us women, we know what we know about our bodies, but you know what I'm saying? So hope I just speak it to, y'all leave some chats in the comments and let me know, how do you feel? Can a woman?
Hey, y'all quiet right now.
I think this is definitely a tough topic for everybody. So
it is. What do you think about, like, when they say, and this can go either for a lack of a mother or a lack of a father, what do you think about that automatically making that person fail because there was a lack of whatever they're missing? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, can you be in a successful relationship even though you may have not have had that example of what a healthy relationship was? You know what I'm saying? So like me, for instance, I'm real big in trying my fucking hardest not to repeat the cycle that I saw growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So just because I didn't have an example of what a healthy relationship was growing up, does that in turn mean I'm automatically destined for nothing but unhealthy relationships simply because I didn't grow up with that example? I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe I'm automatically destined to fail just because I didn't learn it from my mom. Because I think people have a lot of different sources of motivation, education, whatever. You have more than just your parents. So I don't think that's a good, for me, I don't think that's a good excuse. Well, I don't know how to love because my mama didn't love me. Or I don't know how to love because my daddy didn't love me. I don't know how to be in a relationship because I didn't see my mom, I didn't see my parents in one. I don't believe that. I think it's a cop-out, honestly. So how do you feel about that?
I agree. And I've met some very educated foster home, people that just was, of course, they had just a different type of upbringing, but man, graduated, did what they needed to do. It just takes them, the mindset of that individual person, to be honest. So like you said, you didn't want to carry on that, what's happening. Like, let's say grandma was like that, mama did it, and you just trying to break that thing, you know what I'm saying, that curse that's on your family, and you try to break out of it. It's people, hey Ian, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think that your family life and what you came, how you was raised, and that's an excuse. Now, if you make it as your crutch, I didn't have my mom in your life, and that's why I'm so fucked up right about now, and you continue to live like that because I'm an alcoholic because shit, my mama was an alcoholic. Okay,
that's a choice at that point. But
there you go. Did she put that drink in your hand though? You know what I'm saying? She did not. Did she give you them drugs to take? The people you surround yourself and everything else, that was your decision. That's why I said in my motivational video, it's you. You take responsibility of who you are as well. You just can't point fingers at everybody else. You have to point fingers back at yourself, because at the end of the day, you are you. You are your person. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. We have to break the generational curses. Absolutely.
And that's my friend Diane. Yes, boo, we do. And you have to make it a conscious effort. You have to put in the work, because Well, I mean, why would you just want to concede like that and just let your circumstances dictate your life and the life of your kids? Like me, I was like, fuck that. I'm not repeating the same cycles. I'm not going to put them through the shit that I went through. So, I mean, at some point, you have to take responsibility, and you have a choice. You have a choice.
Absolutely. So yeah, I don't agree with that. I just feel like I just wish people would break out of that, because I hear so many stories. Oh well, it was bound to happen. How I am, because that's how my mama was. That's how my daddy. Because guess what? I could have been a raging alcoholic, and I could have, and this is my story. Basically, I used to kind of drink, and I think I've mentioned it before on the show before. I used to drink very heavy at some point, and to the point where I blacked out, and I was dealing with all of that childhood stuff and things like that. So of course I was masking it with alcohol. I was actually smoking cigarettes and everything else, and I was just, you wouldn't believe it, but yeah, I had a tough time dealing with all of this. So I was just like, you know what, screw it, whatever, life is what it is. I'm just gonna live my life and don't care what nobody thinks about it. And I was doing reckless things, and I was behaving the way I shouldn't have behaved. And at that time, of course, I knew about my father. At this point, he's a drunk, other drunks, like I just knew that in my family it was like a lot of alcoholism and things like that. So it's like, yeah, that's right, I guess it's in my in my blood. But I had to stop doing that to myself, because it was to the point where everybody else is partying, having a good time. I'm upstairs because I'm toe up.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's embarrassing for one thing, to be like that. And it's like, I shouldn't be carrying myself. I'm a lady. I can't be drunk and falling over and acting, I'm just saying, thank God gave me a strong mind.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I see a comment here. I hope I could be in a relationship, even though I didn't have much to see or how to, I guess, to Annie, and I'll drop a bombshell. I was bullied about not having a father growing up alone, having other siblings on that other side. So
yeah,
like family things at school and things like that. You ain't got your family there to, you ain't got your dad there to be with you on your b-ball games and things like that. I understand it.
Yeah.
You said mom was a weed head, dad was, I'm sorry, we clicking on the same one. I'm gonna let you do. I be doing this. I get so in the habit of doing it, but dad was
mom was a weed head. Dad was an addict altogether. I decided to not smoke or drink for years. I can understand it. Diane said, like, people should want to be better than Auntie them, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Why would you just want to repeat the same bullshit that you saw before? Like, what? Stop it.
And yeah, that was me. But I was this was basically, I was dealing with being cheated on. At this time, I was fresh out of that relationship. I really wanted him to be in part of my life, and then I just couldn't let that go. Then it was like, you know what, forget it, because he was being reckless. And I finally was like, it just took that final moment for me to was like, to be embarrassed, to realize, you know what, this is not it. But at the same time, I was just like, you know what, at this point, what's the purpose out of life? That was my attitude. Along with, I didn't know, I didn't have a relationship with my biological father. I didn't have a relationship. I was mad at my mom. So I had a lot of shit going on in my personal life that I couldn't reach out to anybody and cry about it. I didn't know about depression and things like that. I didn't know about these resources that were out there. All I knew how to do is pick up a bottle and drink it and mask it. So, and I definitely wasn't proud of those moments. But I'm here to tell my story, because if that's you got to snap out of that, because it's not cute, especially being a female. It is not cute to behave like that. It's not cute. I'm telling you, I was in the clubs partying, acting like I ain't had no kids because my mom and them had the children. I was just living the life, honey. And That was the worst thing for them to do. But you know what? I think what it was slick was they saw that reckless behavior. They saw the path. And they was like, you know what? We're coming to get the kids for the summer because you're doing a little too much for us, and we want to make sure them babies are okay. We got somebody that's gonna join. But yay! But that's just how I feel. What's up, Mike?
It only 80, but y'all ain't happy to see me. I just want to.
We just want somebody to join us. It be like we be talking to ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Y'all mind if I think this is a very important episode. I say this every damn week. But this is some better topics. Man, y'all be hitting on some stuff. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I really don't even know where to damn start.
Testify, sir. Testify.
Where should I start? Where should I freaking start?
I don't know. What about coping mechanisms? How do you cope? For me, my sister swears to God that for me, my coping mechanism is suppression. She says, like, a lot of our past, she'll be like, you remember blah, blah, blah? I'm like, no, that didn't happen. She'll be like, what? You don't remember? And I'm like, no. She was like, I swear to God, you just suppress shit and you have this ability to forget about it. And I think that's my coping mechanism. My coping mechanism is push shit down so that I don't remember it. And there's a lot of shit she'll be like, oh, you remember blah, blah, blah? I'm like, no, I don't remember that. She's like, so, I mean, everybody has their coping mechanism. Maggie's coping mechanism was the bottle. My coping mechanism was fucking forget. That was my coping mechanism. So, I mean, you cope different. Everybody copes differently.
Absolutely.
Well, I think my coping mechanism was more so. It got to a point. It was 2 periods for me. It was a period where I was trying to, probably in middle school, where I was just trying to, be the best student. And good God, was I was the damn best student. I was on the road. I was, believe it or not, I was just like the perfect kid. Never got in trouble on the road, but I never got any like, okay, all right, you did a good job. Hell no. It's like, all right, yeah, you made the other roll. And that type of stuff. So that type of stuff really affected me because I'm the type of person, especially for my mom, like that's something that you expect for a mother to give you some type of, affirmations. My mother is not that type of person that just give, affirmations freely like that. That's just who she is. Like I said before, that's something that I've just learned to deal with. That's just who she is. I can't force her to change. And that's the thing that, we have to come to an agreement, with ourselves, is that you cannot force anyone to change. You have to, unless they want to. That's the responsibility. That's not your responsibility. So that's how I can sleep, for me, personally. But another, and I'm kind of almost embarrassed to even say this, but I used to steal like a mother. I was steal any motherfucking thing. I was steal pens. I was stealing, football cards, baseball cards. Anything you left around me, I was trying to take that shit. I was trying to steal everything. Stealing and fighting, that was something I was doing. Right? So that was my period of time where I went to trying to cope with just, some type of attention. I think I was, seeking some type of attention, doing that type of stuff. And that's how I cope with things.
So Mike was a thief.
Yeah, I was a damn thief.
Mad Mike, huh? Makes sense.
I was stealing anything. Don't leave shit around me. Do not leave anything.
Oh, I used to can't stand them damn kids, man. And you were damn one of them. Lord have mercy.
Oh man.
But hey, we got
so,
it.
we
We
didn't
got to
read
admit
Ian's
to it.
comment. My mom, I guess this has to be S and dad was a crack addict, and I'm glad I'm not like them. R.I.P. Dad. It's been 14 years. Wow.
Yeah.
But elaborate. I'm glad. Like, we can't allow what our parents, who they are, define who we are. Like, we are our own individual persons. If you use that as your crutch, and it's like, yeah, I mean, my mom was a fucked up person, my dad was a fucked up person, so goddamn it, I'm a fucked up person. No,
see, I don't, that part didn't click in me. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to put my girls through the shit that I went through. I refuse.
I think my complex was just more of, I didn't know how to handle my anxieties and issues. I was coping with it by myself, and I didn't know how to cope with it. Now that I'm a lot older and I know how to research, because this is before I was dealing with that, before it was heavy on social media and internet and Google and all that kind of stuff. I'm telling my age, but Facebook wasn't even really a thing. Facebook, I think Facebook was like a college thing at that time. So it wasn't even like a, hey, Facebook, can I ask you a question type of shit. It wasn't that. It was still Yahoo Messenger. It was still that type of stuff. So,
phone chat line.
Like,
get on
04, 05, 06.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So it wasn't that time where I can just go, okay, Google, tell me Sirius or whatever, So none of that. None of that. I didn't have all that. So I was dealing with that. And of course I was still mad at my mom. So I didn't have that relationship with. And guess what? I just said something that this lady don't said something on my phone.
You said her name. She said, how can I help you?
Yeah, she said, what do you need, ma'am? So that's just too much going on right there. But yeah, that's the time I didn't have all those resources and things like that. You still had to go to a library to find this type of stuff. So, if you don't know nobody and everybody else fucked up and drug addicts and drinkers around you, that's all you fucking know. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go party and act a fool and do this and do that. AOL dial-up was the struggle.
Boy, don't let nobody call. Don't let nobody call when you're trying to
get that sound that is.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. But we are, it's an hour and 17 minutes up in this thing. So we definitely got to jump into, we don't got into deep into this conversation. And we were trying to get the phone lines to work. You want to try it again? I just want to open it up, and no,
I don't.
And nobody want to get on the stream.
Hell no. We're not doing this.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the sidebar. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up just a little bit, but basically, go ahead and get that. And Mike, thank you for telling your story as well. I appreciate you joining us. You are always more than welcome till everybody get used to wanting to be a part of this. But why aren't marriages lasting like our grandparents' generation? Pretty much. So that's kind of a sidebar. It's always off topic.
Speaking of grandparents, so my grandparents were married ever since I knew them. And ever since they passed, they were still married. So that is one relationship I can say that was a marriage. It stayed a marriage. And no matter how insufferable my grandma was, my grandpa honored her as his wife. He stayed with her regardless of how miserable she was. And that's just what it is. So, but nowadays, like you go through one difficulty and that shit is over. Everybody's getting divorced, and I can't really speak because I'm divorced myself. So, I don't shit. What y'all got to say? Hell.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but I definitely want to get into Ian's comment as well after that. But I feel like right now, this is the age of the social media. Everybody's life is on social media. Everybody is influenced by what's happening on that thing. They want to live a life through Facebook. They want to live a life through Twitter and Instagram and everything else. And it's just it's a bit more influence. Like people now can just DM you, and hey, what's going on, ma'am? And it's like, you know what? Okay, cheat,
Yeah.
Back when it was, the structure was, it was a bit more, the father was the breadwinner. He took care of the family. He had to, he was the protector. He was all of this. And no, this is back when they was, factories and all that type of stuff. They was doing like work. So, they would go and have the day the mama took care of the house, make sure the kids was taken care of. She made sure it was a bit more catering at that time. She made sure dinner was done when he got home, it was just a bit more, because that's kind of how my aunties and, people are. They stick together, and it's just this thing about, oh yeah, we've been together 20 years. We've been together 30 years, 40 years. It's like a honor to be still married to your husband. Now, are they happy? That's the question. But because
No.
my granddaddy was definitely a drunk, and he wasn't the best. From what I heard from stories, grandma was pulling him out of women's houses. But guess what? They stayed married though. It's like you don't fuck. I don't care what you're doing. We're gonna still be married though, sir. So like you said, miserable or not, we still stuck it out.
I'm out of houses. Dang.
Look, no, yeah, look. That's why a lot of my cousins and stuff like that, my male cousins, I be like, you got that granddaddy syndrome. That's what you got. That's what you got. But we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, he was,
nowadays, you piss somebody off, I want a divorce. I'm not gonna live like this. Fuck this.
It's over with. I don't want to work it out. But you know what? Another thing is though, when people got married then though, they was really married because they loved that person. They really wanted to be with each other. And for one thing, you really had to know somebody, because it was before the telephones. It was before, so you really had to go on dates. You had to go, really get to know each other, because like that little interaction that you got is what you got. You can't be like phoning her up, hey, what you doing tonight? He got to bring his ass over there to come see you, and that's how y'all gonna interact every day, or smoke signals or whatever you was doing to communicate. But that presence in that moment was everything. So of course you're gonna take her on a date. You're gonna court her, and then of course it was a bit more respect. Then you had to, especially for the male dating a woman, he had to meet the parents. He had to come in. Hey, ma'am, I'm introducing. I'm interested in your daughter, and I would like to take her out sometime. Is that okay? So of course you got to get through daddy. And he got to look at you like, are you a right man? And how you go, So it still had that respect factor as far as dating and things like that. So it meant more when y'all finally got together. It was like, okay, this is the lady I want to marry. This is the love of my life. And we get married. So shit, y'all stick together, because y'all worked hard for that.
Right.
You worked entirely hard.
Everything is
everybody just get married because they want to.
It's instant gratification. That's the mindset of everybody right now. Instant gratification. Everything is so microwavable. Like you want something right now. If it doesn't happen right now, you done. You don't have the patience or the endurance. It's like instant. And then there's so many options too with social media and dating sites. It's just so.
We got somebody else joining us. Hey.
What?
Do you want to be on screen? We're finna bring you on. I'm excited. He gonna hide his camera. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna bring you up, Francis. We bring you up. Appreciate you. So we got a guest in the house. How you doing, guest?
Okay.
Hi, Francis. How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can definitely hear you.
Okay. Hey, I'm pretty good. I just wanted to add a few thoughts on the sidebar topic.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said earlier in the comments, I think, wait, what was the topic again? I'm sorry, I forgot.
basically about why doesn't marriages of this day last like it was back when it was your grandparents and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think like a lot of people lack standards and morals these days. And I think it goes back to what Miss Maggie said earlier concerning social media. And I think that like especially like with a lot of young people in my age group, like there's a lot of promotion of like these toxic values. I don't know where they really originated from. Now that everyone's kind of on social media, everybody's kind of adhering to this advice, and it's like as you said, like back in the days, like a lot of people were meeting people in person, but now since everybody's on social media, everybody's just kind of like trying to like take heed to this advice, but it's like nobody's really kind of I guess looking to have like real world physical interactions. They're kind of like prioritizing that advice they get from these social media influencers, whatever, and they're not really prioritizing like those physical, real world interactions with people where you can kind of get a more accurate impression of what a healthy relationship should be like, if that makes sense.
It definitely makes a lot of sense. They really taking advice of somebody that might not be married or might be, you know, I'm a relationship expert. Okay, did you go to school for this? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Taking
And
advice from the Kardashians and whatnot.
Yeah. And I really don't like social media, honestly. I mean, I'm on there, but I really don't post anything about myself. I really try to preserve that for like interactions where I actually meet people in person, because I feel as though it makes it more genuine. I don't really kind of like to give like a phony impression of myself. Whereas when I'm in person, like speaking to you, that's when you can kind of get the impression that I'm not sharing myself with people who I don't even know, who I probably won't even meet over the course of my life, but I'm sharing it with you because you're here right now, and I kind of have some vibe with you that's making me comfortable sharing my information with you.
I get it. I love it. You know, and I get it because, you know, like I said, this is the social media age where we don't pick up a phone no more. We're texting.
Exactly.
Hey, how's it life? You know what? We're dating through texting. Like we don't pick up a phone and actually have a physical, you know, actual verbal conversation where it's like I'm hearing your voice, you're hearing my voice, because messages get mixed.
Eyes and see the truth.
Yeah,
that's another
messages get mixed up in text and everything. You know, the tone be off, and you don't. You know, you might be not trying to. You know, your message, like we saw something in the chat about the way in the group that we was in about how you can misconstrue even a emoji. Like, what are you saying? You're mad at me? Yeah.
I need to go back to that post. I need to remember because I got a lot to say on that post. But anyways, you can misconstrue tone over text easily. It's not hard to do at all.
Especially
while you're typing, while you those in all caps, you're yelling at me like, no, I was just I pressed my keyboard. I didn't mean to. So I like what you said, because we got to get back to the days of actually picking up a freaking phone and talking to somebody, actually meeting up. Well, of course, with COVID, we can't do all that now. We restricted, but actually meeting up face to face and going out and getting to know each other. Now it's social media. It's, let me FaceTime you and let me see what you look like. Here's a picture, right? You know, here it is. Like, let me see you in person so I can actually touch you physically, you know, in the flesh. Like, hey, sir. You know, so I get it. I get why some people just stay away from social media. So I love it. I love it. That's what I'm saying. I was hoping somebody get on with us. I didn't want to just be.
I know. Okay, so check this comment out. This is from Salid. So people felt that there was more to fight for back then. Families, homes, stability, etc. was sacred and something to fight for. Today, people feel like everything is replaceable.
It's replaceable.
So they don't fight as hard.
Opportunity. I think that's another. There's so much more, especially for women these days, and I think a huge part in why marriages last so long, because back in even the 80s, it was difficult for women to be able to provide for themselves, so they had to stay with men that weren't necessarily good for them, and they allowed certain things to happen to them. For instance, I know several women in my family that have been with guys that have been abusive, and the only reason why they stayed is simply like they didn't have anything until they actually found someone that could take care of them. They stayed. They stayed. They got hit. They got cheated on, and it's just nowadays there's so much more opportunity with social media, with social media for sure, but it's job opportunities for women. Like women don't have to take anything from us. They don't have to take any crap from us now. Like they can take care of their own. They can take care of themselves. Like I don't need you, Nick. I don't need you. I don't need you. I got my own job. I got my own job.
Chunk up the deuce real quick. Oh, you all want to ask right? All right.
True.
Deuces. Shit. All right.
Exactly. We're not depending on you guys no more. We know how to make own our own businesses now, honey. So, but yes, people don't have patience as well.
You wanted to go back to Ian's comment. So he said, my mom was messed up and dad, they knew I had autism when I was little and they didn't do anything about it. Now I'm older now and autism made things a living hell, honestly. What do y'all have to say about that?
Oh yeah, that's going back. If you didn't watch the earlier show, that's just going back to about the absent parents and things like that, or the parent in your life that just didn't show you that nurture and wasn't supportive. You couldn't go to them. So I take that as, because I have an autistic son. Now we both, even though the father in his life, he was a mess when he was young, but he matured up. Cause like I said, we was high school sweethearts, but, thankfully my son didn't have to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Like we love our son unconditionally, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you can't help how you were born. So I'm not going to take that out on you or treat you a certain way because you might have a different, you have a delay or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with autistic children, you just they have to have an extra love and support. Especially with my son, he has to have that one-on-one, or he's just all over the place. So you have to have those parents, you have to have those people in your life to kind of help you understand what's going on with you, and I'm sorry to, that you had to go through that. And I'm pretty sure it was a living hell for you. Cause I'm telling you, I mean, being that I am a mother with the autistic son, I definitely understand that, because people don't understand it. Sometimes they do look at my son and, they don't want to say it, but it's like, he's a little different, he has his quirks and things that he do. Like my son, he's actually nonverbal, but we sign language with him.
Okay. So,
and he's 14 years old now. So this is just going to have to be with him, but with the right school and education and things like that, he's not where he used to be, where he can get up, put on his clothes and eat and, do what he needs to do for himself. But I know that he's going to have to be dependent on us for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I have to accept. But you just got to have those loving parents that understand that and everything. So I definitely can definitely understand where you're coming from that. When you don't have that support system and you also don't know what's going on with you, that can be a living hell. I definitely get it. So, I do hope that it's gotten better for you. But hey, message me, if you still got, talk to somebody about it. Because I definitely understand that whole autism thing. So, but I love that you're able to speak and, you understand what's going on with you,
Right.
That's truly amazing, actually. So, dealing with society, they chew me up and spit me out and they think it's normal to treat people like that. Yeah. I get it. I get it. You know, that's kind of something I have to deal with myself. Like I said, they just kind of look at them and just like, you know, and that's why I'm so private about that. Like, I don't take my kids around everybody. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm very protective of my son in that sense because you know, it's just certain people that just
are very inconsiderate. They don't care.
Very.
They will say anything, and like they don't know when you're actually hurting that child. You know what I'm saying? Because kids
because they don't understand what's going on. They just think, oh, what is this? You know, it's just a phase. No, he definitely does have a delay and things like that. So he does, you know, have things that it's going to be different.
Right.
People don't accept different.
I had something similar to that. I don't know about autism, but me personally,
and look at that, you know, you just hanging with us today. Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
Maggie can tell you that I have issues with just multitasking and just my attention span is like really. I have to be reminded of a lot of things because my mind goes so fast and like I'm all over the place a lot of time. Like even when I'm working, doing the show, I'm doing a billion things at once. So for me, I had that issue. Teachers actually used to call me it's like because I couldn't catch on to a lot of things at the pace that normal kids did. No, the rest of the kids did. It took me a while, so I had to have that one-on-one with teachers. So I was called slow. I was called stupid. I was called all types of things. You know, so during in high school, that for me personally, it now that I look back, that's the reason why I kind of fell back, you know, as far as like trying to do good as far as my grades are concerned in high school. I just stopped giving a damn because people didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. And now that I have a greater understanding of what was wrong, you know, I'm able to deal with it. But it took me a while to get to understand it.
Yeah. Definitely, I definitely understand that. And Ian, I know that's tough. I definitely know it's tough. You know, your family laughed at you.
Oh, they call me. Oh, I'm Ian. You ain't alone, man. They think I'm nuts, man. All right, they call me Mad Mike for a reason. I think something is definitely wrong with me. All right, so trust me, I've been called everything. I've been bullied. I done bullied people. Look, I've been called everything. You good, bro? I promise you be good.
But I guess if you want to add anything, I guess we're gonna go ahead and probably wrap this up pretty soon. But if you want to add anything to it, you can talk about just the marriage thing, or you can go back into the original topic about abandoned families. Anything else you want to add to it?
I mean, from my point of view, going back on what Mike said, as far as being criticized for, I guess, being different, I think that just goes back to people kind of just being narrow-minded when it comes to like understanding or trying to understand something that's different. I mean, it's kind of easier nowadays to kind of relate to something that you can relate to, but when it comes to, I guess, like something that's different from yours, from your circumstance or predicament, it's easier to criticize it rather than kind of try to understand what that person is going through actually.
Right.
That's right. That's why I feel like with autism, people just don't understand what it is. You know, they think it's just a regular, like it's not what autism is not like autistic people can be geniuses. They can be extremely smart. Extremely smart. They might have a talent that is like no other. I mean, I know autistic children that are musicians, and you know, my the kid's dad, his brother, may he rest in peace, this man can read a road map. He didn't need GPS. He knew the map like that. Like it was in his memory, embedded in his memory. So they have talents like no others. So they have some type of strength. So it's just because they have a delay in some things. Because my son, he does like little hand gestures and things like that. So to them, it looks like it's, you know, something else or anything like that. But this man is smart as heck. Like my son he can hide things and hide it too good to the point where it's like where that thing, and he know exactly where to find it. And guess what? He finna go right to that area and find exactly where that thing at, because he got that memory. So it's like,
Yeah.
this is where it's at, because you knew. And then like he used to get to the point where he used to steal snacks and he'll put it on his pillow. And like you would think he don't know what's going on, but he be like, yeah, I got that thing under the pillow. I know what I'm doing. So they know exactly what they're doing. They know, it's just, but that's my baby. That's my heart and joy. So I definitely can feel for you, Ian. So, if you got to reach out, just reach out. If you need to speak to somebody about it, because I definitely understand all of that. But that's the end of the show, people. I don't have an aftershot set or anything.
Nope.
I don't. The aftershot guest is basically you can just kind of, this is if you got a business, if you want to promote yourself, this is where you can do that. Or if it's something that's just you want to talk about that's nothing related to what we've already talked about, he already jumped off. But basically, Mike, since you the guest, you can go ahead and give your aftershot, because I don't have an aftershot right about now. So I'm going to be off the top of the dome.
Aftershot. What is an aftershot? I don't even know. I'll say this.
Well, I was going to say, while you thinking,
Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all, and I'm talking to my fellas. It is 2021. Can you please explain to me why you feel it's appropriate for your first interaction with a chick on social media is for you to send a dick pic and then a selfie on top of that? It's 2021. Like, enough is enough. Why do you think that's an appropriate introduction? Especially if said dick looks like an anteater. Like, why? I'm not understanding why. Like,
look at say that.
Does that actually work?
Mike, you crazy, man.
Like, you send the dick pic and then you send a selfie behind it. Like, does that work for you? Does she respond with, damn, I want to try that. What's up? Like, or do you keep on doing it because it doesn't work and you're just going to keep on trying until it does work? Like, I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. Like, why is that an appropriate first interaction? Like, no, hi, how you doing? Just dick pic and selfie.
There you go.
And then it's not even appealing. It's not even appealing looking. Like, why? Why? I need to know why. I need to know why you feel that's appropriate. And I need to know, has it worked out for you? And that's why you're doing it. Or it hasn't worked and you're just going to like say, fuck it, I'm going to keep on doing this until it does work. Like, which one is it? It's got to be one or the other. Why? Mike, you're a guy. Come on. I need some freaking answers.
Look, I may be a guy, but I ain't never did no shit like that. I'm gonna show you my face. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna smile in the picture, and then I'm gonna say, "Hey, do you mind? Do you mind if I show you a little something?" That's how I'm gonna do. That's how I do it. I don't send it first and then say, "Hey, guess what? This is what my face look like."
Like, no greeting, no nothing, just bam, dick, and it looks like an anteater. Here's a selfie to follow up this horrible dick pic. Like, maybe I'll change my mind because there's a selfie after it. No, and you're gonna get blocked after I'm done with this show. The fuck?
I don't get that. I
That's
just
my
don't.
aftershock.
Hey,
Well,
Stop it. That's my
stop it.
aftershock. Stop.
Do not do that,
Stop.
people. Do not do that. Mike, you got aftershock?
yeah, I actually do. I'm gonna go back to what 2 weeks ago when you girls had that Buy 45 shirt on. I just want to say hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Out of there.
hallelujah. He's out of there. He's out of there. Not only out of there, but it's 2 times. He's the only mother freaker that has been what 2 times impeached 2 times. That's terrible.
Fired. You fired.
He fired. All right, you fired. All right. Golly, how you get it 2 times?
That man is banned from everything. Everything.
You only got a week left. You have 1 week left. How trash are you to be put out of your position and you only got a week left?
And he's not
That's
getting
a whole
his
new
pension.
level of trash.
He's not getting his pension. He's not getting anything. So it was just like, hey, look, oh, bro, all you had to do was shut up. You would have had your pension. You would have had everything. Just shut up. That's it. And you couldn't even do that.
He was incapable.
They took away the PGA. They took away your ability to make money from the golf course. So now you're not making money with the golf course. So you all the way screwed up. Like, good God, bro. All the way screwed up. So that's mine. All right, that's my aftershock.
Yeah, we're going to re-rock that. Inauguration day or something. Maybe we'll re-rock it then because I've got to do it. Got to do it.
Because that's literally next Wednesday, right?
Is it next Wednesday?
Is it the 20th?
Yep.
Oh my God. He did say 10 days away. I think that's what he posted. He said about 10 days.
I thought it was the 20th. Isn't that
he said, well, maybe I'm wrong. I just saw
I thought the 20th was inauguration day.
I think it was. We should be like 7 days away or something like that.
So maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's literally next Wednesday. I think the 20th is inauguration day.
Okay.
Shit, I might get. I don't even drink like that. I might get drunk. Shit. Buy me some vodka. Shit.
Maggie, you have an aftershock before we jump off of here?
I do have an aftershock. So this happened earlier today. So this is my aftershock. So I am at my job. Of course, I am a supervisor and I, train all my people that are on my staff. Mm-hmm. A particular person decided that because she felt that one of her agents that went to her about a question that because it's her it used to be her project. The lady took over her project. So she reached out to her because it's like, this is your project, ma'am. I'm asking you a question. Instead of answering that question, she decided, Maggie didn't teach you that. That should have been lesson 101. Like basically bad, pretty much not being professional in a professional environment, if you will, about my training skills. But yet, ma'am, I train you as well. So, yeah. No, I was just in my feelings about that, just a little bit. But it's like, but you the one that got issues. You can't even get your stuff together, yet you got something to say about how Miss Maggie trains all my agents. Every last person on that staff, I've trained. They had to go through me. You know what I'm saying? So people that don't moved on to do what they need to do is because of Miss Maggie. But you got something to say. Basically, what happened was that coworker was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this at all. I don't do the messiness. And so she reached out to somebody else and somebody else came to me. It was like, this is what's being said, So, Of course, it got back to me, but it was just like, make sure you take care of what you got going on before you got something to say about somebody else. That's just, right. I just thought that funny. because she
can
don't
deal
get her
with
stuff together. I'm like, I can say she asked me questions still about stuff that she should know since day one. But Maggie didn't teach you that. I'm just noticing that you guys might not know what's going on. No, ma'am. She came to you because you are the person that used to be on this thing. So she's asking you because you are experienced in that. Answer the question. All that extra stuff. Stop being messy, people. In 2021, people are still on that messy stuff.
Mhm.
Just let it be. Just let it be.
I'm just gonna sip my drink.
That's it. Hey,
Hey, you know what they
I'm
say? If you don't have haters, then you're doing something wrong. So there you go.
I'm just saying.
if she can deal with me, if she can deal with me and pretty much be my representative and stop me from being so impulsive, um, Miss Maggie is doing a damn good job. All right, I'll fight anybody that say that she ain't doing her damn job. If she can deal with me, she's doing a goddamn good job.
I'm just saying. That's just what I'm saying. I just had to put that out there because you don't come for me, boo boo. Don't do that. Don't try me
Unless
like
I
that.
send for your ass.
Thank you. All right. Well, on that note, I just
Well,
had to
there you
get that
go.
out there. Let me drink and sip my wine and
Mhm.
get on up out of here. All right, people.
Okay.
Thank you, J Rock. Appreciate y'all. Everybody that tuned in, subscribe, share this stream, come back and watch it if you missed it. We appreciate you guys. Until the next time. Oh, and Ian. No, who was it? Who was it
Yeah,
that
it was
came on?
Ian.
Francis.
Oh,
It was,
Francis.
yes. Appreciate you, Francis, for joining us today.
Yes.
Appreciate you, sir. All right, people. Until the next time, we out. Peace. I'm saying it like I'm recording a video, y'all.
Yeah.